Well, it's the moment of truth, Frank. We either messed up an engine we can't get parts for, or we did a perfect job.
Really, I'm just stalling because I'm not ready to do this intro. I have no clue what I'm going to say.
All right, I'm going to start.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Frank. Hey, Jim. We're back. And so is the Figaro. Just kidding. I've been informed that I've been saying that wrong. So I'm going to try my best to not call it a Figaro anymore. And we're going to call it what it's supposed to be called, or at least what I'm told it's supposed to be called, is a Figaro. Like the opera singers or whatever. If you guys watched the last video, we put a upgraded radiator and fan in this, replaced some cooling hoses. If you haven't seen it, I'll put a link somewhere. So in this video, the car's come back. Last time it was here, we were supposed to do the timing belt and water pump if we had time. Unfortunately, with recording and everything else we had going on at the shop, we didn't have time to do the timing belt and water pump. And it wasn't one that I wanted to rush because there's limited information. You can't get parts for this thing at the parts store. We're here in the good old US of A where they never sold Nissan Figaros. Didn't want to be rushed. Customer is cool with it. She said, I'll bring it back in a couple weeks while I'm on vacation. She watched the video we posted of the radiator. Probably get crap for that too. She loved the video, and she was the one that told me that I'm saying it wrong. So hopefully I'm saying it right now. Thanks for watching, Christy. Thanks for letting us work on your car. These are cars that you make memories in, and they can't be easily replaced. Anyway, let's crack right into getting the timing belt and water pump apart. Oh, Frank. Yeah, you didn't realize we're filming for MTV Cribs, huh?
Hey, my name's Babushka.
Did you get your ZB Drift shirt yet?
Where can I buy one?
We have a website on Fourth Wall for ZB Auto.
So if you want a shirt, go to
Fourth Wall / The Rolling Times or something Frank? Like that. You guys are taking forever. You need to get this done as soon as the camera starts. Can I make a bunch of Frank noise? She's not revving her Mustang. She's making noise doing something. We're going to go over some of the parts here. If you guys are doing this job, you're going to need a water pump. You're going to need the water pump gasket. You're going to need the timing belt, obviously, because that's what we're replacing. New tensioner for the timing belt. It would be the ideal time to replace your accessory belts because they're going to have to be removed to get the timing belt cover off. We just serviced the cooling system with the radiator and the new hoses, so we're going to put the new water pump on. Christy plans on taking the Figaro. I got to say it like opera every time or I say Figaro. Christy plans on taking this on some longer trips to some other events and stuff, and she just wants to make sure she doesn't have any issues, so we're going to be super preventative and take care of all this stuff. So to get started, we're going to open the radiator cap. Never do this when the car's hot. The reason we open the radiator cap when we drain the coolant, if you leave the cap on there, it creates a vacuum. It takes forever to drain. Taking that off, we're going to put the car up on the lift and drain the coolant. So we have an upgraded aftermarket aluminum radiator. We don't have the traditional petcock that would be on the car with the factory rad. If you do have a factory rad, it's literally just a plastic plug that you twist. It's like a wing nut. This upgraded rad has a 6mm Allen for the drain bolt. Come on, don't run down my arm. How long is this thing? Okay, while we got it up in the air, we are going to remove part of our fender liner here and this splash shield so we can get a better look at what's going on with these belts. We got a Phillips screw here. Where are all my tools? My 1/4-inch electric ratchet. I used it today. Justin's getting familiar with what these tools are. Too familiar.
He got lucky.
That's how that comes out. Okay, so I'm just looking at this accessory belt here. This is the air conditioner belt. To remove it, we're gonna have to loosen up the tensioner. This locks it in place. So we'll loosen this nut and then the adjuster bolt. 14 millimeter, 12 millimeter. She's a little stuck. That belt can come off. Don't see any cracks. The alternator belt, that's pretty interesting. The alternator belt runs off the AC compressor. There's two sets of belts on the AC compressor. So we actually don't even have to remove that belt. We do have to remove the power steering belt, and that looks like a very similar design here with the locking bolt and the adjuster bolt. This time we're 12 millimeter. 10 millimeter on the adjuster. And this is the pivot bolt, so we don't have to remove it, but we do have to loosen it up so this thing actually moves. Put this guy in there so we don't get dripped on. I'm gonna tighten that up right away so I don't forget. So we're gonna remove this wheel. It's gonna give us better access to the lower timing belt cover, the harmonic balancer. It looks like the upper timing cover has to come off before you can pull the lower timing cover. Since we're here, I'm gonna pull the wheel. What? Just go to bed there. These are like motorcycle brakes. Tokiko, they are motorcycle brakes. I'm not the motorcycle mechanic though. There's two ways we can do this. We have to remove the upper engine mount, which Justin will show you. We basically have two options. This motor mount has to come out. In order to do that, we have to support the motor. We can either go underneath the car with a floor jack and a piece of wood to spread the weight out across the oil pan and the transmission. The second option would be we can put an engine support bar across the top here. We can chain it to the motor, and that usually gives us a little bit more control. If we do the floor jack method, the car is kind of stuck where it's at. We're not able to raise the lift because it's going to raise the engine off the floor jack and it's going to fall. Justin's giving me a confused look because it looks like right now we're jacking it up and using the engine support bar. The reason for that, the engine support bar, when you buy one of these, it comes with this nice screw thing with a hook for the chain. I don't know where mine is. I know who knows where it is, but he's not here right now. If you're watching this, Nick, where is it? I know you know where it is. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna support the engine with the floor jack. That'll allow me to take this engine mount out. And then once we have the engine where it needs to be, we will hook up this chain. That way we can let the floor jack down. The chain will support this side of the motor, and then we'll be able to move the car up and down if we need to. You don't really want to put a whole lot of pressure on it. Just make sure it's supporting the engine. So we got a 14 mil here. Now the nut spins. Okay, we got two 14 millimeter nuts here, holding the mount to the engine bracket. You got so much room in this engine bay. Why would you put that AC line there? There's our engine mount. A little soft, but no rips or tears. Still in good shape. So we have our chain supporting the engine now. We can slowly let the floor jack down. All right, Frank, Jim, it's 11:30. The women are tired. I'm hot and sweaty. I still want to go unwind for a little bit before I have to come back here tomorrow. So we will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, we're getting right back into it. We definitely did not screw around for the first hour of the morning getting set up to film. We have our engine mount bracket that we have to remove. There's 3 12 millimeter bolts. They're kind of tough to get to. You may have to move the engine up and down to get it above or below the frame rail to get to these bolts. So here is our engine support bracket. You gotta take that out through the top once you get the bolts out. This bolt here is the worst one to get. My advice would be maybe raise the engine up so this bolt's above the frame rail and try and get it from the top, because it was not fun trying to remove that bolt from the bottom. Now we can remove the upper timing cover. We have a few 10mm bolts that we have to remove to get that off of there. So that one is a 5mm Allen, and there's hardly any room to get to it. Okay, the upper timing cover is off. We can now see our timing belt and tensioner. The next step is going to be to get this thing set to top dead center before we take it apart any further. According to the video I watched last night, that's the timing mark for the cam, and that's got to line up with this groove right here. So we're going to remove a spark plug on cylinder 1, and that's going to allow us to make sure we're at top dead center along with our timing marks. The crank turns twice for every 1 revolution of the camshaft. Right now, our timing mark on the cam is pretty much completely on the opposite side, and our timing mark for the crank is pretty close to where it's supposed to be. So we're about 180 degrees off of top dead center for cylinder 1. We're going to start cranking over the crank till we get our timing mark pretty close, and then we're going to actually insert something into cylinder 1 so we can watch that piston come all the way up to the top. And I believe this is a 19mm. So now that we're pretty close to top dead center, we're going to remove this harmonic balancer so we can remove the lower timing belt cover. There is a, so you'll want to make sure that doesn't fall out of there while you're doing all this. You have a little spacer plate. You can tell which way it goes because one side is marked up from the timing belt here. And you can see we have a timing mark right here, this little dot, and this groove right here. So we're a little bit off right now. We got to turn it just a wee bit. If you don't,
You got your hands up already.
whenever you're dealing with an engine, they usually only turn one way. Most engines, it's going to be clockwise, looking at the crank from the timing side. So right now you can see we're a little bit past. We could spin it backwards and get ourselves in line. I have done that in the past with lots of engines and never had an issue, but they say you're not supposed to do that. So for the sake of the video, we're going to go forward. That belt is actually pretty loose. Holy shit. 1 full rotation, and on our second full rotation, the cam should be lined up top. That's crazy how much slack is in that belt though. All right, we're almost there. We're gonna go nice and slow. You guys can't see anything because the ratchet's in the way. We're gonna go back up top and just double check our marks. And guys, since I can't get a straight on eyeball on this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start here at this notch. I'm gonna bring my finger straight down onto the belt. I'm going to come straight across, so I know I'm on this tooth. This tooth is in line with that stamped circle, so our cam is as close as it's going to be. Now we can loosen up the tensioner and take the belt off. So while you guys are doing this, I'm not going to, well, I guess I am going to. Take the white paint pen, thank you Matt, and mark all your timing marks so it's super easy to visualize where everything's at. If something gets bumped while you're taking the belt off or, you know, whatever, it'll be pretty obvious that something moved. So we're just gonna go in here. We're gonna mark our timing there. Then we can come underneath. Maybe you should be here for more videos, Frank. I believe this is the first 13 mil on the car. There's a little leg of the spring under here we're gonna pop off. So now our tensioner's nice and loose. Belt's gonna slide right off. Look at that. Ed Bassmaster?
Ed Bassmaster.
Or Bassmaster? I don't know what he prefers. Pretty simple tensioner design. On the back side, this sets on a dowel. This slides onto the stud. You can see it's slotted here. And this leg, the spring pushes on. So that spring pretty much automatically sets the tension. And then you just tighten this nut down to lock it into place. There is a chance as the belt stretches, it will need adjusted, but once it's locked, once you lock this nut, the tensioner is not going to move. So I suppose with that spring on there, after so many miles, you could probably loosen this nut up, the spring, push it, and take up more slack in the belt, and then tighten it back down. But I'd have to check into that, see how all that would work. But that's a theory, and that's probably why there's access to it. There was a hole in the timing cover. I feel like, why else would you have that there? Yeah, so you're probably able to loosen that. You probably want to set it up to top dead center, but you're probably able to loosen that up and let that spring push the tensioner tight after the belt stretches. So as that belt stretches, I'm guessing that you could loosen that nut without taking this all apart. The spring would then push it back into tension and then tighten it down. So that's your belt adjustment. The next thing is the water pump. One thing that I've always done to make things a little bit easier, especially when you're working tight up against a frame rail, you don't have the best sight on something. If you're replacing a part and you have the new part, take a look at the new part, see what's all there, see how many bolts hold it in. We can see on the new part here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts. It looks like they're all 10 millimeters, but now we know, you know, if we take 4 of these out and it don't come off, we don't start prying on it, we know there should be 5 bolts. So it's just a helpful thing you can do if you have the new part before you're taking it off. You can see how it goes together. I know there's one more. Yeah.
Walked right in.
Oh, did you get that action shot?
Yeah. Walked right in.
Oh, I got coolant in my face. Gasket fell apart. Pump feels smooth. So we're gonna put a new water pump on, but before we do that, I'm gonna clean up all this crap and just make sure it's a nice smooth surface for the gasket to seal.
Subscribe.
If you guys are having trouble holding the gasket on there, you could use a little bit of RTV and just lightly put it around the water pump, set the gasket on, and it'll keep it held, like it's, use it as glue basically to keep the gasket in place. We have pretty good access here, so I'm gonna try and get it started without the RTV. If we can get 2 bolts started here, we should be able to get the rest in without having to fight with the gasket too much. I could not find a torque spec for the water pump bolts. The information for this car is very limited. I'm sure there's probably a repair manual out there somewhere, but the write-up on the Figaro Owners Club website I was looking at does not specify a torque spec. Looks like from some forums of Nissan Marches and other vehicles that use this engine, probably about 9 or 10 foot-pounds or about 100 inch-pounds should do the trick, so that's what we're gonna torque these to. We're gonna torque them in a crisscross pattern. Is this what claustrophobia feels like? Okay, tensioner. And washer. I think that was a 14 millimeter nut. I'm just running on hand tight, so tensioner can still move back and forth, but it's not gonna fall off there. We don't have a direction on the new belt, but they said in the write-up, the writing should actually read right to left. And we do have a direction on the old belt, so we can match it up. In my experience with timing belts, you want to start on your smaller pulleys first. You want to get all the slack out on the non-tensioner side. Let's see, we got probably a tooth of slack in there. Tensioner's right here. You want all the slack on this side of the belt. So the belt's on now. All the slack is on the tensioner side. Our crank did move a little bit while I was getting the belt on, so I got to go back up and check the cam before we put the spring and tighten the tensioner down. But if the cam's in line, our crank's in line, all the slack's out of the front side of the belt. The water pump does not get timed. It can, you know, you don't have to worry about your tooth placement there. It can be anywhere. So let's go back up top and see if our mark's lined up on the cam. Looks like the cam moved about 1 full tooth. So we're gonna have to pop the belt off and get that straightened out. Just using a little extension here as a straight edge. Coming in here, lining it up with this notch, and it makes it pretty obvious that we're a tooth off. Okay, we're in line here. All the slack's out of the front of the belt. We got our cam where it needs to be. We're gonna throw our spring on that tensioner, tighten that down. I just came in here behind here and there's a little notch it sits on there. Flick it off. Perfect. Frank it off there. I'm gonna turn it over clockwise by the crank twice. And we're gonna check the timing marks, make sure everything's lined up where it's supposed to be. So we checked our timing belt. Looking like that's gonna be okay. Before we go any farther putting everything back together, we're gonna do a quick vacuum pull on the cooling system. Make sure that water pump's good and sealed up before we go put everything back together. So I pulled a strong vacuum pretty quickly. It appears that it's holding. We should be pretty good if it's holding a vacuum with air. It should hold liquid. Now we should be able to start putting our timing cover back on. All of these timing cover bolts are the same size for the upper part. I did forget to mention that one of them is an Allen. Why is that one an Allen and the rest are 10s? Ask Mr. Nissan.
Going in from down under.
Our engine mount bracket. Got our spacer thing on there. Marks. We got our notch for the woodruff key. Same thing back here. Just gonna put a dab of blue Loctite. Okay, we're gonna have to get our floor jack out now. Now we can take our chain off. Guess we gotta put our belts on, Jim. Okay, our smaller of the two belts is the power steering. We took that off last, so we're gonna put that on first. Next we got our AC belt. Now all we gotta do is tighten up these tensioners and lock them in place. Get a good shot of the belt there.
Yep, I do.
That's too loose. That's probably about right. If it would squeal, we could go a little bit tighter probably. You can kind of put these on too tight, and then it's hard on the bearings and the belt. Make sure you don't go too tight with them. You want a little bit of deflection in the belt. Now we're going to tighten this lock nut down. That's going to lock it in position. We also got to tighten that pivot bolt that we loosened earlier. So 12 millimeter for this adjuster bolt. I think this was a 14. Don't forget your spark plug.
Well, it's the moment of truth, Frank. We either messed up an engine we can't get parts for, or we did a perfect job. So here we go. I didn't hear any valves hit the pistons. It seems to be idling pretty smooth. I think we're good.
Cool. Stop right there, Frank. Don't click off this video. We're not done yet. We're actually about to go take this for a test drive, make sure it's running perfect. And Justin's gonna get the drone up in the air. We're gonna get the Osmo strapped to somebody's car, get some rollers of this thing, get some really cool drone footage, and make sure it's running tip top for the customer. It is Saturday, and we love you guys so much that instead of just test driving this car on Thursday when we were finished with it, we actually plan to come here, get some drone shots, get some rollers of the car, and test drive it on Saturday. I want to give you guys a little bit of backstory. Friday night, Josh came over with his GTI. He just got another motor for it. There's a long story to that, but anyway, Friday night I was here till 4 a.m. today, helping Josh get the new motor swapped in his car. I went home, got some sleep. We came back here. It is evening. It's the perfect setting for rollers and drone shots with the sun setting, because I wanted to make this video extra special and capture this car the best I could, because it's really a phenomenal car. But we're going to go ahead and get the top dropped and go take it for the test drive after the timing belt job. If you come in on the driver's side of the car, under the dash on the center console, there's a switch here. That's gonna pop, we'll call it the top boot. That's gonna open up, and then we have some latches here. There's a little safety you pop on both sides. That's gonna release our top, and then we can go ahead and just lift up under here. You'll be able to get under it and carefully fold back the top. Make sure there's no creases or anything while we're folding it down. There is a strap here to keep everything secure while we're driving. So that just keeps everything secure. Then we can close this guy. We have this nice little cover here. Apparently these are often missing on these cars, but this one has it. Okay, now we should be ready to rock and roll. Safety first. Brandy, you want to go for a ride with the top down? Grab the camera. I didn't actually want to take you for a ride. I just need somebody to film. Justin's got the drone behind us right now. We're going for the first test drive, and she is running smooth. I am pleasantly surprised with my timing belt job. Not that I haven't done a bunch of timing belt jobs in the past, but anytime you're doing one on an engine you've never timed before, it can be a little nerve-wracking. Especially when the parts are not available if there's a mess up. So we're just gonna go back and forth here a little bit. Let Justin get dialed in with the drone. Make sure the car feels 100%. Aroma practicant! There's Max. We're gonna go hit the open road. This thing surprisingly moves really well for a 1 liter little tiny engine. I think I'd have to look at the specs, but it's probably only like 60 or 80 horsepower. Yeah, well, how's it size up to your mom's Sunbeam? It's probably a little smaller.
Probably.
So before we started filming, we're kind of in a rush because, like I said, I was up till 4 a.m. last night helping Josh, and I brought an empty memory card over for the Osmo. The Osmo, I left it at the shop. Osmo is the camera we're filming on. So I put the SD card in there. We went to start filming, and it did not recognize the SD card. I wasn't able to format it. Justin and I actually ran all the way out to Walmart and back just to get an SD card to film this for you guys. Honestly, it probably worked out good because the sun's setting. Road's a little rough here. The sun is setting, and it's honestly the perfect time to film a car right now on this beautiful Saturday. But I want to talk a little bit about the channel, and for you guys that have been watching my videos, you guys are subscribers or members, this is a lot of work. We run a auto repair shop full-time during the day, and I try to get an upload done every Friday, which we've been able to do it so far for the last couple weeks, but we've been pushing it really close. We're usually uploading the final draft Thursday and getting the published video out Friday, like right before 5. So it's been a lot of work. It's a little stressful. We love doing it, and I want to keep doing it for you guys, but I just want to let you know that we have a lot of time into filming, editing. I mean, anytime we do a repair where we're filming, it easily adds twice the amount of time to the actual repair. Keep that in mind, and if you guys like the content, please let me know. Drop the comments, let me know what you guys think of the videos, give us feedback so we can keep making them better for you guys.
But I'm enjoying this top.
This is nice. You don't get all the side wind.
Yes, that is what I'm enjoying. Oh, now
Oh.
you turned it.
Try and give the viewers the experience of
Right-hand drive.
actually, yeah, right-hand drive and being first person in the Figaro. This thing is a cruiser though. I really hope Christy can get this car out to some events this year. It's feeling like it's pretty solid. We mounted some new tires on here for her. She had a special order them because here in the States you can't really get 13-inch tires anymore. At least not same day. I have a question for you guys. We were considering doing a live stream Q&A at the shop. I'd like to start doing these maybe once a month. Try and feature some of the people that have been on the show, like Justin and Brittany, Max. We'll try and encourage Brandy to get on the camera, but that's hard to do. So just
just know when Brandy's on camera, it's an extra special moment. But we would like to do these live streams, Q&As. I think we'll probably end up doing them on a Friday evening. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think and what days would work better for you, so we can have an active community for the live stream Q&A. I hear the drone. I want to thank you guys all for watching this video. Let me know what you want to see in the next one down in the comments. Make sure you guys subscribe. I thought I was getting more subscribers, but turns out Max was just making more YouTube accounts. So maybe you guys can help get that subscriber count up. Leave the video some likes. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like down there in the comments. Let's have a conversation. We'll see you, Jims and Franks, in the next one.